morning and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for standing by and welcome to TuanChe Limited First Quarter 2020 Earnings Conference Call. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. After prepared remarks by the management team, there will be a question and answer session. Today's conference call is being recorded. I would now like to turn the conference call over to your host today, Ms. Cynthia Tan, IR Director of the company. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you, and hello everyone. Welcome to TuanChe First Quarter 2020 Earnings Conference Call. We have released our earnings results earlier today, and it is now available on our IR website as well as on Newswire services. Before we continue, please note that the discussion today will contain forward-looking statements made under the Safe Harbor provision of the U.S. Private Securities Litigation Reform Act of 1995. Forward-looking statements involve inherent risks and uncertainties. As such, our future results may be materially different from the views expressed today. Further information regarding this and other risks and uncertainty is included in our earnings release and our registration statement filed with the SEC. TuanChe does not assume any obligation to update any forward-looking statement except as required by law. Today, you'll hear from Mr. Wei Wen, the company's Chief Executive Officer, who will provide an overview of our growth strategies and business developments, who will be followed by Mr. Chenxi Yu, Ronnie, the company's Deputy Chief Financial Officer, who will provide additional details on the company's financial results and discuss the financial outlook. Following management's prepared remarks, we'll open up the call to questions. With that said, I would now like to turn the call over to our CEO, Mr. Wei Wen. Please go ahead, sir.
Hello, and thank you everyone for joining us today on our first quarter 2020 earnings call. In the first quarter of 2020, we experienced significant challenges stemming from the COVID-19 outbreak, which resulted in substantial year-over-year net revenue declines and a widening net loss. In response, we swiftly adjusted our operations to meet the evolving demands of the challenging environment. During this quarter, we focused our efforts on several key priorities, including: first, ensuring the health and safety of our employees and customers. Second, accelerating our online strategy through forming a relationship with Baidu Youjia, Baidu's information service app in the automobile vertical, deepening our collaboration with Tmall Auto, and completing the acquisition of Longyear International. And third, managing our cost structure to maintain sufficient cash balance and liquidity. Let's take a look now at the first quarter results of our business segments, while also providing additional detail on our strategic and operational priorities. First, our offline marketing services. As we have explained in press release prior to today, out of concern for public health and in accordance with all national and local regulatory guidelines on COVID-19 prevention and control, both our auto shows and special promotion events were suspended for both February and March due to the COVID-19 outbreak, resulting in a 95% year-over-year revenue decline for offline marketing services. In April, we held few offline events for the best interest of public health in order to fully support the government's guidance on the pandemic prevention and control. That being said, we are pleased to report that since May, as the COVID-19 outbreak gradually subsides and the Chinese government started to relax preventative and control measures, our offline business began to steadily recover. From a strategic perspective, we have adjusted the pace of our business expansion while staying committed to enhancing our core auto show business with a focus on generating high ROIs to ensure healthy margins and sustainable growth for our business. By leveraging our deep insights in automotive transactions, we can further develop our customized special promotion events for each auto dealer and OEM, helping them further improve the customer experience, ultimately leading to improved sales conversion rates and increased monetization of their customer bases. Next, let me move on to our growth initiative in virtual dealership and online marketing services. In the first quarter of 2020, we made encouraging progress in advancing our online business in response to the COVID-19 outbreak, recording revenues of 3.7 million RMB for virtual dealership and online marketing services, an increasing of 12.3% year-over-year. Compared to general consumer goods, the purchasing decision surrounding a car is obviously a much more complex and protracted process due to the higher costs and the longer life cycles involved. This makes it challenging for an auto transaction to be done completely through online channels. As such, a combination of online infrastructure and offline capabilities is critical to the success of online auto sales. Our powerful offline presence and expertise in data analytics position us well to not only become a player in the auto sales industry, but potentially a driving force in reshaping the automobile retail landscape altogether. In January 2020, we formed a partnership with Baidu Youjia, Baidu's information service app in the automobile vertical. Through this partnership, we will be able to combine Baidu's tremendous network traffic and a vast user base and Youjia's automotive ecosystem with our strong and extensive relationship with OEMs and dealers and our accumulated expertise and data in customer transactions. We also continued to make progress on our collaboration with Tmall Auto. While our offline events were affected by the pandemic, we captured the opportunities presented by the significant increase in online traffic during the pandemic period and proactively launched online live streaming auto shows and special promotion events on Tmall Live. Leveraging our expertise in contextualized auto sales and marketing in addition to our nationwide sales network, we were able to offer our customers one-stop purchase services and seamless combine online vehicle selection with offline vehicle pickup, as well as attractive promotion discounts. Furthermore, we completed the acquisition of Longye International Limited, a leading social CRM cloud system provider for China's automotive industry, further enhancing our capability to empower OEMs and dealers to reach customers more effectively and efficiently. Aside from developing our online strategy in response to the material impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, we implemented measures to adjust the pace of our operation expansion and conserve resources, such as furlough arrangements and scaling back our recruitment budget and employee size, and may resort to other cost-cutting measures if the outbreak of COVID-19 and its impact persists. I should also note that when our offline activities were suspended, the variable costs associated with our venue sales and customer acquisition were also significantly reduced. As a result of our cost control measures and reduced variable costs, our operating expenses were 61.8 million RMB during the first quarter, declining 47% year-over-year. In summary, during the first quarter, we firmly focused on executing our online strategy and cost containment while prioritizing the health and safety of our customers and employees. The actions we took in the first quarter reflected our ability to respond quickly and our ability to execute. While the COVID-19 outbreak prevented significant challenges, it has also accelerated the ongoing consumer transition towards online channels. We were and continue to be well positioned to take full advantage of this shift by further developing our omni-channel initiatives. Going forward, we will continue to focus on effectively leveraging our offline operations and applying our expertise in facilitating auto transactions online. Through our hybrid brick-and-mortar and online business model, we strive to provide our customers with both the security and quality they are accustomed to when purchasing in store and in person, as well as the convenience of a customized experience they expect from online shopping. Lastly, I'm pleased to introduce our Deputy CFO, Mr. Chen Ronnie. He was our financial controller since August 2019. Ronnie's in-depth knowledge and extensive experience in corporate accounting and financial reporting make him an excellent choice for this important role, and we are confident that he will effectively help further strengthen on our finance function. Now I will turn this call over to Ronnie for a closer look at our financial performance in the first quarter.
Thank you for the introduction, Mr. Wen, and hello everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm very excited and privileged to begin my new role with the company. I'm confident in our ability to navigate through this challenging period, while at the same time continue laying the foundation for omni-channel approach to achieving long-term growth. Please note that all numbers stated in my following remarks are in RMB terms, unless otherwise noted. Now, I would like to walk through our first quarter 2020 financial results. Our total revenues in the first quarter were 9.7 million RMB, decreasing 92.1% from 122.9 million RMB in the same period last year. This was a result of the adverse impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic and the sluggish Chinese economy. The decrease was partially offset by the steady growth of virtual dealership and online marketing services, materially and negatively impacted by the suspension of all auto shows and special promotion events scheduled in February and March of 2020. Our offline marketing services revenues generated from auto shows in the first quarter of 2020 decreased by 95.2% to 5.7 million RMB from 118.8 million RMB in prior year period. Revenues generated from special promotion events in the first quarter of 2020 were 0.3 million RMB, compared with 0.8 million RMB in the prior year period. Revenues from our virtual dealership, online marketing services, and others reached 3.7 million RMB during the first quarter of 2020, compared with 3.3 million RMB in the prior year period, primarily due to our continuous online marketing services expansion and revenue contribution from the company's completion of acquisition of Longyear International Limited on January 13th, 2020. Our gross profit in the first quarter was 5.7 million RMB, decreasing 93.6% year-over-year from 88.9 million RMB in conjunction with revenue declines. Our gross margin decreased to 58.6% from 72.4% in the same period last year. In the first quarter, selling and marketing expenses decreased to 31.7 million RMB from 86.1 million RMB in the same period last year, primarily due to the decrease in staff compensation and promotion expenses, mainly resulted from fewer offline events held. General and administrative expenses increased to 24.3 million RMB from 22.9 million RMB in the same period last year, largely due to the increase in amortization. Research and development expenses increased to 8.6 million RMB from 7.5 million RMB in the same period last year, primarily due to an increased headcount as a result of the company's online operation expansion for future development. Consequently, our loss from continuing operations was 59 million RMB in the first quarter, compared with 27.6 million RMB in the same period last year. Excluding the effects of share-based compensation expenses and fair value loss of warrants, the adjusted net loss attributable to the company's shareholders was 51.9 million RMB in the first quarter, compared with 15.5 million RMB in the same period last year. Adjusted basic and diluted net loss per ordinary share were both 0.17 RMB in the first quarter, compared with 0.05 RMB in the same period last year. Adjusted EBITDA was a loss of 50.7 million RMB in the first quarter, compared with a loss of 17.7 million RMB in the same period last year. Now, turning to our balance sheet. At the end of March 2020, we had cash and cash equivalents, time deposits, and short-term investments of 205.2 million RMB. For the second quarter of 2020, we expect our net revenues to be between approximately 47 million RMB and 52 million RMB, representing a year-over-year approximate decrease of 76.9% to 74.4%, mainly due to declines of the number of offline events, including auto shows and promotion events in the second quarter of 2020 compared with prior year periods as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, although we are seeing a gradual recovery of our offline events in the second quarter. This forecast reflects the company's current and preliminary views on the market operational conditions, as well as the influence of the COVID-19 pandemic, which are subject to change. This concludes our prepared remarks for the day. Operator, we are now ready to take questions. Thank you.
We will now begin the question and answer session. To ask a question, you may press star, then 1 on your touch-tone phone. If you're using a speakerphone, please pick up your handset before pressing the keys. To withdraw your question, please press star, then 2. For the benefit of all participants on today's call, if you wish to ask a question to management in Chinese, please immediately repeat your question in English. At this time, we will pause momentarily to assemble our roster. Our first question comes from Laura Liu from Stone Street Group. Please go ahead.
Good morning, guys. So I have a question. Can you just share with us more updates on the current situation of the auto market and also the impact of this coronavirus?
No problem. Please let me translate. 请我们分享一下，就是现在汽车市场目前的现状和新冠疫情对于汽车市场的影响。
现状呢，今年第一季度中国汽车市场销量下降了 42.5%， 乘用车销量下降了 45.4%， 主要就是这新冠疫情的整个的居家隔离的控制措施导致了客户推迟了购车的活动。
In the first quarter, China automobile sales declined by 42.5% year-over-year, with passenger car sales further declined by 45.4%, mainly due to the extensive quarantine measures in responding to the COVID-19 pandemic. This has resulted in consumer postponing their vehicle purchase activities.
随着国内大部分地区都已经没有了这个新增的病例，政府呢也放松了管控措施的力度，再加上全国各地新推出了很多促进汽车销售的新政策，因此国内汽车市场的销量开始逐步的恢复。中国的汽车销量在4月和5月分别反弹了 4.4% 和 14.5%， 乘用车销量呢4月仍然同比的轻微下跌了 2.6%， 但5月也同比反弹了，增长了 7%。
As there is no new pandemic cases reported in most domestic regions, and the government is gradually easing the containment measures, coupled with a lot of newly launched auto market stimulus policies in various regions, domestic auto sales are gradually recovering in China market. The total car transaction number in China has seen a year-over-year 4.4% growth and 14.5% growth increase respectively in April and May, while the passenger car sales still slightly declined by 2.6% in April, but it also rebounded by 7% in May.
与此同时呢，我们从5月份开始，线下业务呢开始逐步的缓慢恢复，但具体进度还不确定性非常大。例如北京最近6月份发现了新的这个新冠的病例，因此呢继续给公司的运营和财务的表现带来了很多不确定性。
Starting in May, our offline business is also gradually recovering in some regions. However, we still face significant uncertainties in terms of the pace of the recovery. Due to recent new COVID-19 cases reported in June in Beijing area, this will continue to give rise to uncertainties affecting the company's operational and financial performance.
具体业务恢复的进度呢，需要看各地的实际情况以及整个疫情进展情况而定。我们会进一步密切观察疫情对宏观经济的这个影响程度和持续时间。
Our progress in returning to normal operations will continue to depend on the specific situation regarding the pandemic in different regions. We will continue to monitor the degree and duration of the macroeconomic impact by the pandemic going forward.
在这个成本控制的方面，因为目前线下活动减少，在这样的情况下呢，我们的场地、销售还有获客等浮动成本也会相应的降低。剩余的主要成本和费用就是人员的工资。
On our cost control side, while our offline activities are reduced, the variable costs associated with our venue, our sales, and customer acquisition are also reduced accordingly. The rest of our costs and expenses is mostly related to staff salaries.
为了应对这个疫情带来的挑战，我们采取措施调整业务扩张的步伐和方向，节约资源，比如这个休假的安排，缩减招聘预算和员工的规模，并且如果疫情持续或升级，我们可能继续采取其他削减这个成本的措施。
As we face the challenge brought by the pandemic, we implemented measures to adjust the pace of operation expansion and directions. We will conserve our resources, including for long arrangements, scaling back our recruitment budget and employee size, and may resort to other cost-cutting measures if the outbreak of COVID-19 and its impact persists or escalate. Does that answer your question, Laura?
Yeah, that's great. Thanks. Just have another question. Can you also provide some more details regarding the online strategy, especially in response to the COVID-19?
Okay, please wait. Let me translate. 他想请我们详细分析一下团车目前，尤其是应对这个疫情情况，那我们在线上业务的一个拓展战略是什么样子？
线上业务的拓展战略有3个方面吧。一个是我们应对措施，现在确实也主要就是积极拓展的线上业务哈。一季度我们和百度这个有价，也就是百度的汽车垂直领域的垂类的这个资讯类产品达成了战略合作。
Our strategy in response to the pandemic is mainly to proactively expand our online business. In the first quarter, we formed a strategic partnership with Baidu Youjia, which is Baidu's information service app in the automobile vertical.
另外呢，我们随着跟淘宝合作进一步加深，我们都逐步的推出了依托于淘宝直播的这个在线特卖会等多款新的线上产品，利用我们在线下场景化营销的这个多年的积累，打造线上场景化营销新模式。
We also further deepen our cooperation with Taobao. We have launched a number of new online products such as online live streaming special promotion events on Tmall Live and leveraging our years of solid track record in offline sales and marketing to build a new and contextual model for marketing service online.
另一方面，我们在今年一季度完成了跟这个智商通的就是农业的这个合并整合，他们的4S店这种社会化的营销系统，就是 SCM 的营销系统，也有利于在特殊的时期消费者不能到店的情况下，帮助经销商更好的跟踪线上获取的消费线索，并且提高成交的转化率。
In addition to that, we completed the mergers and acquisitions with Longyear in the first quarter of 2020. Longyear's 4S store social CRM system can help our dealers better track their sales leads obtained online, like through our live streaming auto shows, and increase conversion rates when customers are unable to visit the dealer stores during the pandemic period. Does that answer your question, Laura?
Yeah, that's very helpful. I think that's all my questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Operator, we can have next question, please.
Yep. Next question comes from Jack Vander Aarde from Maxim Group. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hello. Hope you're all healthy and well. Just want to say welcome and congrats to Ronnie on your new role as CFO as well. Couple questions from me. Yeah, no problem. Couple questions from me. I'll start with, you guys provide a lot of detail and helpful color of the macro environment. So I'm going to start with Q1 revenues. Just because Long Eye was explicitly mentioned as a contributor, are you able to provide an explicit contribution of revenue or a rough estimate of what Long Eye actually contributed to the quarter?
Please let me translate first. 他想知道那个农业的一季度的收入是吗？
Hello, Jack, and thank you. And we are not ready to disclose in detail Long Year's isolated revenues exact figure, but we can tell you that it contributed to our first quarter's revenue amount, and it will continue to be a steady growth to the company's total revenue stream.
Jack, does that answer your question?
Yes, it's fair enough. And then as a follow-up, I have a couple more questions. If I look at your 2Q revenue guidance, it implies a large decline year over year, which is no surprise, but I'm positively surprised by that the decline is far less severe than I was expecting. So it's a positive surprise. And since the second quarter technically just finished, is there any preliminary data points you could share, maybe in terms of how sales have trended on a weekly basis throughout the quarter, maybe from like early April through May, through the end of June? Is there anything you could share on just kind of the trend of sales, what you've seen? And were there any auto events, offline auto shows hosted in June?
Please let me translate first. 那个他想问的是，
这个还好。Hello, Jack. For your question, our April revenue was relatively slow, affected by the pandemic, but for May and June, we are steadily recovering, and we hosted a number of auto shows and special promotion events in both May and June. As for weekly change, all I can tell you is that we are seeing steady growth each week, and that's also in conjunction with the macro automobile industry, as earlier mentioned by Mr. Wen, as we are seeing rebounding figures for the macro automobile industry.
Yes, for your further reference, that would be in April, that would be a 4.5% rebound, and for May, that would be a 14.5% market transaction rebound. But the June data is yet to come out, and our recovery trend is like you can use that as a reference data. Does that answer your question?
Sure. Just to clarify, those data points for April and May you just provided, is that in terms of the industry or is that in terms of TuanChe specifically?
That would be the total China automobile transaction data. That would be for the industry.
Okay, got it. That's helpful. And then, okay, as a follow-up here, perhaps I'm getting ahead of myself, but if we were to assume China's overall economic and in auto environment returns to a healthier, normalized, consistent level, are you able to speak to maybe how many auto show events and kind of what level of potential revenues you think could be achieved realistically in 2021? What I'm trying to get at is, do you expect revenue to kind of grow off the 2018 base for 2021, or would you expect the overall trajectory of revenues to kind of be lower given the 2020 difficult environment?
Let me translate first. Hi, Jack. Our CEO Wei will take the question.
我们现在没法直接对2021年做一个非常准确的预测。
We still cannot provide any forward-looking statement regarding the 2021 revenue. We don't even provide an annual forecast right now.
因为那个确实这个疫情咱们都知道，就是最乐观的估计可能都就不知道疫苗什么时候出来的话，它能够控制住。
As you can also understand, just like in United States, the China pandemic is actually much more ease right now, but we still didn't expect any vaccine coming out right away.
就像之前中国已经基本上没有了，但是6月份北京又出现了，所以它对我们的业务直接就产生了会有影响。
Yeah, because there are huge uncertainties regarding the pandemic's development. Like just we thought the pandemic is under control in all around China, but we have spotted new cases recently in June in Beijing, and that will have some really material impact on our business.
如果假设2021年的这个疫情控制已经是比2020年好，那我们也可以基本上是可以预计说2021年的我们的业务的恢复，尤其是线下的这个业务会比2020年会明显会有好的，但是确实无法去跟2019年或者2018年直接去比较。
If the pandemic is under control for the year of 2021, then we'll expect our business, especially our offline promotion events and offline auto shows, will actually recover from the 2020 current situation. But we still don't have any we cannot provide any comparison to the year of 2018 or 2019 because that would be a total different market situation back then. Does that answer your question, Jack?
Yes, that's very helpful, and I appreciate you taking a shot with my question as helpful as it could be. I understand we're very early on. And then just one more question, kind of bigger picture. In terms of the strategic value proposition, historically, TuanChe has on average, I believe, helped consumers save, somewhere a little over 7% or so on average on the purchase price when consumers purchase a vehicle at a TuanChe event versus, say, a third-party dealer or non-affiliated dealer. Given the recent pandemic and its impact on the industry, is there any reason to expect that 7% or so savings that you've historically achieved to change in the future? And if so, what would be driving that?
Let me translate first. Thank you. CEO Mr. Wei will take the question.
这个问题呢，确实是个好问题，但是也不太好回答。
Yeah, this is a very good but not very easy question.
因为现在在中国整个汽车品牌呢出现了比较大的分化，确实有因为这个不管是疫情或者竞争的影响，有下滑的特别厉害的品牌，但是也有还比较经营状况还比较好的OEM 的品牌。
Under current market situations, a lot of different OEMs have divided into two parties. One of them are still very stable and still even can achieve some kind of growth, but the other group may have suffering from current market situation.
有一些好的品牌甚至于它的折扣是在减少的。
For those really strong brands that under very healthy situation, their discounts may even become smaller than previous years.
因为这部分车它很多的配件也好，或者是它的这个整车是可能来自于进口，而受到疫情影响的话，这部分车源减少，比方说像奔驰。
Just like Mercedes-Benz, the parts and even the whole car is imported as a whole. So under the current situation of pandemic, the actual inventory of imported cars is getting the inventory is lower, so that the price are even stronger and more stable than ever.
而一部分供应链完全在国内，并且呢，这个销量下滑相对来说比较严重的品牌，他们的折扣是在变大的。
And for some of the brands who is totally built domestically, and for those brands who are very weak right now in the market, the discount is actually getting bigger.
如果从这个角度看，下滑的品牌更多的话，那可能整体的这个折扣可能会更大一些。
From this point of view, overall from our observation, the number of the OEMs that are under difficulty or trouble is a little bit more than those who are more stable. So overall, from our perspective, the discount is getting larger.
但是如果随着疫情的这个恢复，就整体的汽车市场往向好的发展，向好的方向发展的时候，这个折扣可能又会开始变小。
But with the recovery of the auto market, and when most of the OEMs actually survive this impact, the discount may shrink back to the normal situation or even smaller than we previously expected. Does that answer your question, Jack?
Yes, it does. That was very helpful. I appreciate the color. That's all my questions for now, guys. Thank you again.
Thank you for calling, Jack. Operator, do we have any more questions?
No, there are no more questions in the queue. As there are no further questions now, I'd like to turn the call back over to management for closing remarks.
Thank you once again for joining us today. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact TuanChe Investor Relations through the contact information provided on our website or the TPG Relations. Thank you.
This concludes the earnings conference call. You may now disconnect your line. Thank you.